Welcome back to On the Rise, as Jesse Marsch and Canada Soccer have dropped their 19-player training hub squad pre-Nations League, as this is a squad based around North American players who are now currently out of season. But this is a very exciting squad for Jesse Marsch and a great opportunity for him to look at players deeper in his depth chart and deeper in the player pool. Great opportunity to look at youngsters, look at experienced players, and just having more look at the MLS-based and CPL players. And it's a great opportunity because it's a very exciting squad. And there's a lot to learn, and I've pulled 5 things I've learned from this squad, and we're going to be talking about all 5, guys. But before we do, drop down below, hit that sub button, drop a like, guys, because I really appreciate all the support. And also, hit the comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on my takeaways. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the squad as well. And we'll be jumping straight into number 1. As Shola Jimoh is my number 1. The biggest takeaway from the squad and the most exciting part about this training hub squad by far, and there's no arguing it. This is a 16-year-old CPL wonder kid. This player has taken the CPL by storm. And York United have a star on their hands. In just the last 6 months, Shola Jimoh signed his first professional contract, made his pro debut, scored his first professional goal, along with having goal contributions and scoring in the CPL playoffs. Shola Jimoh now has 16 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 goal contributions in 16 appearances. This kid is sensational, and there's no changing that or doubting it. Shola Jimoh, only 16 years old, getting called up to a training squad with a mix of top-tier talent and top-tier players, whether that's experience, leadership from players like Maxime Crepeau and others like Richie Larea and other young talent around his age. Shola Jimoh is going to get a great experience and a great deal of learning from Jesse Marsch, learning from Richie Larea, Maxime Crepeau, being involved with players like that, of that leadership, that quality, that ilk. And it's just extremely exciting to see for Shola Jimoh get this opportunity, get this call up, and for Jesse Marsch to recognize that, dig deep and look into the CPL for talent. Yes, he's 16 years old. Yes, he's going to be involved in Canada Soccer and the Canadian national team for a long time. And it's great for Jesse Marsch to go and call him up. Yes, it's not a call up to play against Costa Rica, to go play against Panama, but it's a great opportunity to just get your chance and get your feet in the water and get an opportunity with this squad. And only 16 years old, Shola Jimoh is going to relish it and is clearly going to use every opportunity he can in the squad to learn from Jesse Marsch, to learn from the top tier experienced players in this squad, because it's a great chance for Shola Jimoh, and he is my number 1 thing I have learned from this squad. And I'm sure a lot of Canadians will be taking an eye to Shola Jimoh, especially if they haven't heard of him going into the squad call-up. But also, my number 2 point, TFC youngsters. There's a lot of talent in this squad that Jesse Marsch has looked into and has called up, and there's quite a few TFC players getting the call up, and that is no surprise, but there's some very exciting ones who I think have a great future and have great talent, whether it's Kobe Franklin, whether it's Adam Perlman, whether it's Richard Chukwu, whether it's DeAndre Kerr. There is a lot of them, and it's very exciting. For me, the standout is DeAndre Kerr. We have so many Canadian number 9s and so many very exciting Canadian number 9s, and just looking up top at the striking depth, you got Stefan Afrifa, who is on the squad as well. You got so many players, and even abundance of them in the MLS as well. But DeAndre Kerr, yes, he hasn't had a sensational season, but he's still a very decent number 9, and only 21 years old. He seems like he'd be older, but he has had a very decent season, and there's no doubting that. Yes, TFC's had a rough year, but some of the Canadian youngsters coming through there right now, and what TFC have been able to do through their academy throughout the years, yes, they haven't always brought it through their club to start for them, to play for them consistently, but what the talent they've done through and the player pool they've brought through has always been incredible. You just got to look to some of the other MLS teams, Jacob Schaffelberg, and there is such a long list, and Schaffelberg just leads that list. But DeAndre Kerr has a brilliant future ahead of him, and I absolutely love what he brings, and his player profile isn't exactly what you get on the national team, and I'm not saying he's going to be called up as a permanent senior national team player. I just think it's very exciting to see a player like DeAndre Kerr shine this season, play decently well, not play tremendously all year, but just a great, talented player. And also, there's some other ones. You just also have to look at Richard Chukwu, likes of Adam Perlman, who I'll personally be honest, I don't watch MLS every week. I don't have Apple TV. I'm not able to access that. And I don't know a whole lot about Adam Perlman and Richard Chukwu, but I'm very excited to see what they're about, to continue learning about them, because I'm not going to be lying or exaggerating and say I watch these players, because I truly haven't watched enough of Adam Perlman and Richard Chukwu to give you guys my honest and true opinion about them, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. But DeAndre Kerr is a player who I know about, who I've seen, who I really like the profile of. I think he's a very exciting talent and a very exciting profile. At only 21 years old, he's a very fun number 9. But also, Kobe Franklin's a great player, and it also will be a lot of fun to see if these players get more opportunities with TFC, or if they make different careers and go to different sides, which a lot of TFC youngsters seem to do. Number 3 point that I've learned from the squad is Jesse Marsch has made this a great mix of talent and experience. Because yes, he could have went pure youngsters, he could have went pure talent, and just absolutely said, I'll bring experienced goalkeepers and Jonathan Osorio, Samuel Piet, Richie Larea, you guys take a break. I just want under 21s, I just want CPL players, and I just want to have a look at the youngsters. But Jesse Marsch has done a brilliant job by calling up a mix of talent as well as experience, which I absolutely love with the squad. Yes, it's not a squad where we're going to see them play, but having these youngsters like Alessandro Biello, DeAndre Kerr, Shola Jimoh, Adam Perlman, mixed in with players like Jonathan Osorio, Richie Larea, Maxime Crepeau, Joel Waterman, Samuel Piet, and even Raheem Edwards. They're not just going to be with a mix of youngsters and feel like it's an academy camp and they're there to kick the ball about and have fun. They're there with some experienced talent and some experienced veterans of this Canadian national team who have been there and done that. And it's a great time for them to say, okay, we want to impress Crepeau, we want to impress Osorio, we want to impress Richie Larea or Waterman, and show them that we're not just here to kick about. We want to prove that we're up to their level and we can challenge them and get an opportunity. And they can learn from players like Waterman, Crepeau, Osorio, and not just feel like it's an academy warm-up kick-about kind of thing. And it's a great opportunity for Osorio, for Waterman, for Crepeau to get reps under their belt as well before Canada has their Nations League performance. And my number 4 takeaway is I do believe this is an important camp for one experienced player, and that is Maxime Crepeau. I don't think it's a hugely important camp. I just think it's a great opportunity for him to continue to show Jesse Marsch that he has that ability and he continued to shine, because he was getting placed on the bench in the playoffs behind James Pantemis, who has also been called up. So it's a very important camp to show, yes, they're not playing games, but to show that in training camp, in scrimmages, whatnot you have in training, that Maxime Crepeau can outshine James Pantemis in training. Even though James Pantemis played well over Maxime Crepeau at the club level, Maxime Crepeau has been shining for the Canadian national team. And the fact that we've learned that the number 1 debate between Crepeau and DSC is now a very tight battle, and they're both seen as number 1s. I think it's a very big, decent-sized camp for Crepeau now. Not that it's a camp where he's going to be playing, but it's a huge training camp opportunity where he's going to be facing James Pantemis 1v1, where DSC is still going to be playing on a consistent basis in the playoffs and absolutely shining. So I think it's a big camp for Maxime Crepeau, where he can continue to just notch in his head at Jesse Marsch and say, I'm still the number 1. I still want to be that number 1 for Canada, and I always have that quality to be, even though I was on the bench. My number 5 point is I really believe the CPL is truly working as we were all hoping it would. Just looking at the squad, like I already talked about with Shola Jimoh, he got his call-up, already a CPL player, getting a call-up while playing in the CPL, and that's very exciting. But you look throughout the squad, there's players there who played in the CPL, whether it's Jonathan Sirois, whether it's Joel Waterman, and there's players filtered throughout this team now who have, yes, it's happened before. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but it's very exciting to see a CPL player in that squad, along with players who are former CPL players as well, who have made the jump. And the fact that we have a CPL player in the squad, we have a few players who were playing in the CPL, made the jump to the MLS, now are consistent starters. It's just extremely exciting to see that the CPL has done wonders and has absolutely worked how we all hoped it did. It's been a great pathway and a great outlet for young Canadians, whether it's like Kawasi Poku to make the move abroad, or whether it's just a great option now for them to knock on the door of the Canadian national team, make that jump to the MLS, or straight away like Shola Jimoh to get the call up to the senior team. It's just extremely exciting, and I absolutely love that Jesse Marsch has taken a liking to the CPL because he's doing a great job with it. Whether it's attending matches, whether it's going out and calling a player like Shola Jimoh, or just being there to keep helping the grassroots of Canadian soccer, Jesse Marsch is truly showing why the CPL is really working. So there's, guys, my 5 things I've learned from the squad. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, what you guys have learned from the squad. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop down below, hit that sub button, drop a like, because I really appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.